How do I look? I just came back from the barber. My barber. Nice guy. Gave him 50% tip. Why? Because I bank with SoFi. My bank gives me 2.5% interest rates. Your bank, if you're not banking with SoFi or some other online bank, gives you 0.01%. That's 1% of 1%. My bank allows me to tip my barber very well for his services. I had a nice fro before today, and now it's gone, and I have a nice shape up. Hopefully you like it. If you don't, let me know below, and I'll let my barber know next time I go. I get a cut about 2 times, maybe 3 times a year, so I like to tip well. And because I get lots of interest on my savings and my check-ins from SoFi, I can afford to give my barber what he deserves, a nice tip for his job well done. And of course, I can do that with a peace of mind because I know that it's pretty much free money. I just put my money in an account, the money that I don't need to invest, that I might be using for paying bills or other miscellaneous expenses. And SoFi pays me 2.2, sorry, I keep getting this wrong because they just raised it to 2.5% in interest. And again, most banks, likely your bank, pays you 0.01%, 1% of 1% on just your savings. I don't get why you stay with this bank when there's better options out there. My mom and I were talking 2 days ago, and she was telling me that she's about to get all this money from her job. And I asked her how much her bank gives her in interest because we were talking business and different endeavors. And she tells me she doesn't know. But then she goes through and says, oh yeah, last month they gave me $2. And the month after they gave me $1.50. And she has thousands of dollars in there. So her bank is taking her cash, investing it elsewhere, 90% of it because of fractional reserve banking. They're taking all that money, investing it into the markets, lending it out to business owners, and they get paid sweet interest, especially now with the Federal Reserve increasing interest rates. Her bank is getting paid 10%, 20% for credit cards, even higher, on mortgages, personal loans, on business loans. All of these loans that they're giving out with my mom's money and your money, they make great amounts of interest in it. But then they turn to you and say, we're very nice. We'll give you 0.01%, 1% of 1%, and you'll be happy with it. And for some reason, you just take it. You accept it. You don't look elsewhere. There's SoFi. I love SoFi. That's my bank. I've been with them for a few years now. And they just came out with SoFi Plus. Of course, I don't want to be too pushy. Of course, there's many other banks out there, online banks that would give you much higher interest rates, some with 1%, some with 1.5%. It just happens that SoFi has the highest at 2.5%. I happen to like the best. I like winners. And SoFi is the winner here when it comes to this interest rate. 2.5% APY on check-ins and savings. Most bank accounts will only give you interest on your savings because the idea is that if you keep that money in there, then they can have less risk when they take that money to go invest it somewhere else and lend it to business owners and the rest. And so because you are guaranteeing that you won't be touching that money pretty much, that's the point of a savings account, that you hold it there for a long time, that you're not going to be using it on your debit card for your everyday expenses. And so the bank gets to know and have that peace of mind that that money is going to be there. And so in return, they say, here you go. Here's 0.01% for your troubles. And they go make all that money on it and give you nothing in return. But SoFi gives you 2.5% APY. On check-ins and savings, they give you 3% cash back on your credit card purchases, and they give you a 0.25% discount on any loans that you take out with them. That's personal loans, home loans, and so forth. They have other loans too, student loans, car loans. They'll give you a discount just for being a member, just for having a direct deposit. You set up your paychecks to go through to SoFi every 2 weeks whenever you get paid. And just by doing that, instead of giving your money to someone else who only gives you 0.01%, send it to SoFi. They'll hold it for you. You can, of course, use your checking account, your savings account. You can invest. and so forth using SoFi. And if you ever want to get a loan, they'll give you a discount just for doing that, just for doing direct deposit through SoFi at your job. And you get early paychecks. So if your job sends you your paycheck every Friday, SoFi sees that coming in 2 days early, and they clear your check on Wednesday instead of Friday. And so instead of TGIF, you get TGIW or TGIT for Thursday, because up to 2 days in advance. I usually get mine like the 2 nights before Friday, so maybe Wednesday night. That gives me more time to invest my money when others can't. So if the stock market goes down on Thursday morning, I already have my paycheck. I can dollar cost average in at a lower price before it goes back up before Friday. Or I can take that money and invest it into real estate. Maybe I can make a faster offer than somebody else can, because I'm able to save my money faster, accumulate money faster, because I get paid 2 days earlier. There's 52 weeks in the year. If you get paid 2 days early, that's more than 100 days earlier than other people in this country. Your bank could do the exact same thing too. They have the capabilities to. They just don't choose to. They could treat you well. They just don't choose to. They could give you higher interest rates. They just don't care to. They could give you discounts on your loans for doing direct deposit with them. They just don't want to. They just don't care. They don't like you. They could give you cash back on your credit cards and give you points for just using the app, for just keeping on top of your money, making sure that your credit score is going up, making sure that you're paying your credit card on time. They could even decrease your interest on your credit card. But they don't. They just don't care about you outside of accepting your money and investing it so that they can make their money, and then giving you 0.01% back when they could actually give you 2.5% like SoFi does. But they don't choose to. They don't care to, because you stay with them. And everyone else stays with them because everyone's too lazy to look at the options out there. And so when I went to the barber, I knew that the haircut was going to be virtually free, because SoFi pays me hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands, depending on how much I save in my account over the year, in interest every year. So I can get as many haircuts as I want. And I can tip very well. I could tip 100%, because the money, I didn't work for it. My money worked for it, just sitting in SoFi. And I get paid. I get a haircut. I hope it looks nice. And I tip my barber very nicely so he can be happy and, of course, treat me well next time. And all I had to do was use SoFi. So, or some other online bank. So my question to you is, why are you letting them rip you off, your bank? Why are you settling for 0.01% in interest? Why don't you go try some online bank? Doesn't have to be SoFi. Again, I just like the best, and that's why I like SoFi. That's why I use SoFi so passionately, because they treat me well. And that's who I recommend to my friends and family. But of course, you can look around. There's hundreds of different options. In either case, SoFi gets paid if you use whichever bank, online bank, because 95% of them run through SoFi. They use SoFi's infrastructure, technology, in order to do their banking. And so that's why SoFi is my top investment, because they treat their customers well and they enable the entire industry. So win-win for me. So that's just a quick message. I was feeling good about my haircut. I was thinking about this on my way back home. And yeah, I wanted to just let you know that my bank pays me 250 times more in interest than your bank does. That's how much of a difference it is between 0.01%, which is what your bank pays you in interest on your savings, and the 2.5% that my bank pays me, SoFi pays me, on both my savings and my check-ins. Is there even any discussion to be had? Well, let me know in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it was helpful. And if it was, consider liking and subscribing. I'll see you again next time.